1971 now.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Well, cheers.
So, the number one selling soda in 1971 was Coca-Cola. Number two was Fanta Orange. So, we're gonna do number one.
Today's stream is brought to you by time machines.
That's right.
They're not invented yet, but
No.
they will be, because that's
Back to the Future.
how we're here. Love me a good Coke Sprilla.
Coke Sprilla. Mm-hmm. The original taste. We got the original taste.
So, we decided to take a break from our travels because we were jet lagged from just going all around the world.
Everywhere.
So, we decided instead we would culture ourselves with history.
That's right.
So today we are
U.S. History 101.
welcome to the 70s.
Right? And I have to say, I have never in my life made this Hamburger Helper, which was the number one selling food in 1971, 50 years ago.
Let's see how you did.
However, I have eaten more than my share of it because my mother couldn't cook to save her life. She just couldn't cook. And so this was one of the few things that she could do, and there was, I think, a half dozen different varieties back then.
It's funny because even the dog has decided not to bother us, and she's over playing with her toy. She has no interest in.
Does that look yummy? I think it's supposed to look like a beef stroganoff. This was similar to the original packaging, except for the big hand glove was like really big back then on it. Now it's just little down here. But it looks like they're still using the same font and everything. But a few things have changed, like suggestions what you'll need. Instead of just saying 1 pound of lean ground beef, they've added on or turkey. So there's a few little changes in there. But the packaging is like identical to back then.
I mean, call me crazy, but I like it.
Do you? So, like I said, back then it came in about a half dozen varieties. This was the number one, though. This Hamburger Helper beef pasta is what they called it.
There was some that were like beef stroganoff, but there was tuna helper.
Which I also was able to really enjoy on a number of occasions growing up.
But so essentially, because you buy and add the beef, essentially it's like a box of mac and cheese. Is it like
Right, it's like a
dried
sauce.
pasta and comes with?
Yeah, and then like a sauce pack.
Is it dried powder like a mac and cheese one?
Yep, the
Yeah.
sauces, yeah. And then you add milk and water.
It's like a mac and cheese, but you add beef.
Back then, there wasn't a microwave. This, I think, has microwave directions, too. Or maybe not. No, it doesn't, actually. It doesn't have microwave directions. It has reheating directions.
Well, yeah, because they don't want to encourage people to cook raw beef in the microwave, probably.
Oh. It
Would
probably
be my
just doesn't
guess.
come out the same. But, so,
I don't hate it. I mean, you probably, you got yourself sick of it, I'm sure, but
this is one of the few things my mother didn't burn.
I don't
or
think it's
ruin.
terrible, though.
I mean, you can add vegetables and do, some other things. You can probably, when you're sauteing up the ground beef first, you could put like some onions or mushrooms or whatever in with it too.
And jazz it up.
I did use a really good hamburger. I used, which I don't think was even a thing back then, but we got the organic extra lean
I got the notification. Where is everybody?
Yeah, everybody, where are you?
Where's everybody at?
Yeah, I think if I didn't have this like at least once a week growing up, but we only had this when my father wasn't home.
Oh.
My father was in the military, and so he'd be gone for 6 or 9 months, whatever at a time. So this is how we ate when Dad's not home.
Like, you talk crap like that, but like, I ate mac and cheese at least once a week every night growing up, and I have no negative affiliations.
Yeah, but I made like a nice roast chicken or something to go with it,
Yes. Yeah.
or a vegetable, and I can guarantee you this was not on our table either. We weren't allowed to have soda growing up, so we always had milk on the table. There was always the big half-gallon and the, you know, the cardboard ones like the soy milk and stuff comes in, and those.
It's so funny though that you say like you weren't allowed to have soda, and I know obviously it's true because Aunt Kim not like was a wacko about not letting her kids have soda
No.
and whatever. But you never, I don't think you've ever told me what I can or couldn't eat.
We just never
Or,
really
like-
had soda in the house that much. I'd buy it once in a while, but only because that's how I was brought up, so I didn't think to buy it. But I thought to cook, because my father, I used to cook with my father. So when Daddy was home, it wasn't just that we got Daddy, we actually got good food too. Because my father could cook.
I'm just saying you didn't follow your mean family traditions onto me.
Oh, no. I mean, we didn't drink a lot of soda when you were kids. But, I mean, I didn't say, no, you can't have it.
Yeah, we were never
How could her go on for seconds?
neglected of.
And the milk back then was a funny thing because we always had a freezer that my father would stock up with milk. And it was the frozen, he would freeze, he didn't buy it frozen, he'd buy it and load the freezer with the cartons of milk. You can actually freeze milk in cartons apparently. But they separate. And it was always whole milk.
I was gonna say probably something with the paper though, like.
They're wax coated paper, I get. You know, I mean,
Okay. I was gonna say I feel like something about like when you would try and defrost it, like the paper would like
yeah,
mush.
no, it
you
didn't.
know?
It didn't. So you take it out, but then it was always a thing like you shake your milk before you open it, and if it's been opened, sometimes it'll still separate again, you know, and so you make sure you hold that closed when you shake it.
Oh, I should be saving room for dessert.
Oh yeah,
I gotta stop.
and then there was something that I haven't seen since I was a kid. That, you know, those cartons, and they still make those cartons because that's what we buy the oat milk and everything in. Everybody used to have this like plastic thing that the cartons used to slide down into, and it was a handle. And then, so that way you had a handle to pour it out of the carton.
Well, it's funny. That's how it is in Canada, but it's a bag. Like when they buy their milk, it's in a bag,
Oh.
and they take it home and they they put it in like a container with a handle,
Yeah.
and it's something that like holds on to it.
Oh, okay.
You like how it would the box,
Mm.
and so they just cut a corner of it, and I think they said they only, you know, have it for like 4 or 5 days or something
Yeah.
like that. But something about what's up, random guy, dude. I guess I don't know, cause I watched someone talking about like an American questioning why Canadians like get their milk in a bag. And the Canadians were like, what do you mean? Like, getting milk in a bag is, like, the easiest way to get
Convenient,
milk.
yeah.
Like, what do you, like, it's the least plastic or something, too, I guess. And, the Americans were like, but how do you close it? Like, I don't understand, like, how do you keep it fresh? And they were like, milk doesn't oxidize, I guess.
I don't know. If I mean, I
Apparently,
guess.
when it's like cold or something, when it's at a certain
It's
temperature,
pasteurized,
and
so
that's
yeah,
what, yeah, something about it's pasteurized, and so
it
the
has a longer
air
shelf life.
doesn't really
Permeate it.
change it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
or not that quickly.
I didn't catch on to the technical terms, but
So yeah, we used to have these, these poorer things, and you'd stick the milk carton. Somebody else, I think, just wrote in too.
why do you get your milk in a bag? Trump is your president. You have no idea. You have no room to question. No.
So I'm sure you guys are wondering what could possibly be for dessert. Okay, so the number one dessert in 1971 was actually from the Betty Crocker cookbook, The Joy of Cooking, that came out in 1969. But in 1971, one of their recipes went viral, if you will, for the time. It won all these awards and everything. So every little Susie homemaker made this and had it, and especially if they were having guests over, or if they were going to someone's house for dinner, they would make it and bring it as, the hostess gift. So here it is, you guys. I made it special. And I followed it from the recipe from The Joy of Cooking, and it's called Grasshopper Brownies. And it's a 3-layer brownie. And so the bottom is a chocolate brownie, and then there's a layer, it's like a creamy mint, and then the top is chocolate mint. So we're gonna cut into this so you can get a good look at it. I thought I brought plates
So it
out.
said the Canadians use it because it is less plastic,
Oh, yeah.
the bags,
Environmental.
making them cheaper to produce and easier to store in the fridge. They take up less space because they're stackable, and it makes them more practical for freezing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see, so they freeze milk too then.
Yeah, and
Let me grab some plates. I'll be
And
right
they
back.
say that it does go bad quicker because the bag is open, but it comes in like a 3-pack, I guess, of smaller bags.
Oh, well, they probably use liters anyway.
Yeah, that's what it says. It comes in a sealed in your 4-liter 3-pack. So it's just a little over 1
smaller
liter
than a half gallon then.
for each thing, and so
It's a lot
yeah.
easier to use up once it's open.
So that's what they said. They use it up more. There's less waste because you're not letting as
doesn't
much
spoil.
go bad that
Yeah.
way. It's smart.
See, those Canadians are smart people.
I'd say let's start doing it, but like, how would we start buying our milk in a bag?
I don't know.
Maybe we can contact some farmers.
Yeah,
Bum ba-dum bum 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 bum.
that's right.
So I can really smell the.
The mint.
Yeah, looks like the picture you showed me though.
Oops.
I
Did
just
you
let
guys get
Mom
to see
whip
it?
these things up.
Yeah.
They freeze milk too. You say that like it's. Wait, where are the codes? You say that's like it's a surprise. Like, why wouldn't they? Tatum, you are being so yappy. You were being
Well,
so good at the beginning.
I know growing up, the kids thought I was crazy and never understood. I didn't know any better. And so, like, you get your milk in school in a carton. So I always shook my milk because I thought that's what you're supposed to do.
Well,
Kids were
that's-
looking at me like, why are you shaking your milk? Like, you think that's going to make it into a milkshake?
Well, no, that's what I always would do in school too because they would keep them in the freezers overnight, and so sometimes
they probably
they'd
did
have,
separate then.
No, they'd have just like ice crystals. They would start to freeze a little
Oh.
bit, and so you'd shake it, and you wouldn't get shards of ice in your mouth.
You know how that first piece is always hard to get out. I'm working it here. Okay, I got it.
The first piece is the hardest.
Okay, here we go.
Oh wow.
So, there you have it. That's the grasshopper brownie.
I feel like every milk carton I've ever had literally said shake well before.
Oh, do
drinking
they?
it. I think like I typically shake my milk. I know my Yoo-Hoos I'd be shaking.
Yeah. I don't think those are actually dairy though, are they?
I think they're dairy, but it's like the same as like powdered milk.
So it's
there's
shelf
really,
stable.
Yeah, like there's really not much lactose to it, just enough to say that there is. I
Okay.
think, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Look at that, guys. You
She's-
guys want a piece?
She's beauty, she is grace.
Alrighty, here we go, here we go.
So what is this
So
exactly?
it's called grasshopper brownies, which I've never had. Like I said, my mom didn't really cook. And my sisters weren't big cookers either. I used to love to go in and experiment and play in the kitchen with my father. So she didn't care if I ever wanted to go in and try to whip up dinner.
Wow.
Good.
I was a little concerned because like this top layer is thick. Like this is brownie and this is whatever the topping is, and so with how much it smell like I can smell this all the way in my room. I was afraid that it would be like super
Overpowering.
yeah. But
Yeah,
it's
I think what was really popular then too was they used to have something called a cream de menthe parfait, which was really big after dinner. Like if people went out for a fancy dinner, they would get like this little scoop of ice cream and they'd put this cream de menthe, which is a green liqueur, mint, over it. And I think maybe this kind of came from that. So, joy of cooking, even as far back as it went.
Did you make a video making these?
I didn't. I should have. But we didn't have, and I couldn't find. It said to use on the top, you needed to make the final top layer, you needed the chocolate mint chips. But it also said, if you can't find chocolate mint chips, because maybe back then they were seasonal too, I don't remember. I remember my father buying them at the holiday time to make things, but it said for 12 to 48 hours, and I did them for 12, take the chocolate chips and put them in a baggie. This is in the cookbook. And put a half a teaspoon of peppermint extract in with it and seal it and coat them all and leave it. And that's what I did. And
Is that
so
what the green is?
so no, the green is actually that's confectionery sugar, butter, let's see, green food coloring, water.
And the peppermint?
There's no peppermint in the green.
Oh.
I know, isn't that weird? But I think the peppermint permeated through.
So you're saying
Oh no, wait a minute, there was peppermint, I'm sorry, in the green. There's none in the brownie.
So if I'm getting this correctly, is most of the green layer butter?
And sugar.
But like what's giving it the texture is butter.
Mm-hmm.
So this could go right through. This could really slick the.
There's I think there's a quarter of a cup of butter. So it's like
Okay.
a half a stick for the whole thing.
Okay, all right. Well, that's because like I'm like it's so creamy, but it's not chocolate. So what is giving it that
Well, the
creaminess?
conventionary sugar, like, cause you whip it, and so, when that
I
makes
just
it
wanted to
lighter.
make sure there wasn't
Yeah.
going to be any mudslides.
No,
Hope you're all enjoying your dinner.
I'm really surprised though because I mean I've never made, like I said, hamburger helper, and I've never made this.
You can do anything.
She backs me up. Look at that.
I'm not disappointed.
I'm really surprised. It did come out pretty good.
I mean, that's my kind of dinner. I'm so full.
I know.
The brownies are very fudgy.
But they came out exactly how they said they were going to. And for a recipe, from back then, because like right now, they don't necessarily make chocolate chips the same way that they made them 50 years ago. And stuff. So those kinds of things had me a little concerned.
Well, that's what, like, it was cool that one time pre-COVID, or maybe, yeah, it was obviously pre-COVID when we went to that thing downtown with the historical,
That was last February.
yeah.
It was just before COVID.
Yeah, that's why I was like, the timing was weird, but yeah, last February there's this thing, because we live in like a historical town, and so one of the historical buildings had set up what was, they like, it was at like a church or at the courthouse
It was,
or
it
something.
was at the Colony House.
Yeah, they had done a reenactment of an old wedding, like
From like 200 years ago.
with like every detail. And there was a section of it where it was like the baked goods and like that they had
That
like
was interesting.
remade and stuff. And it was a lot like they had described how like before the flour they would have to sit there and like really grind it and, or whatever. There was a lot more work involved. Where now it's like, oh, you just buy
The flour.
that select kind of flour and like they would have to like make the chocolate and shit back then, like from
Yeah.
cocoa beans or you know
Yeah.
whatever and all that stuff. But now it's like, oh yeah, you just buy the chocolate chips already pre-bagged and
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So-
in the 70s there was chocolate chips to buy,
Yeah.
but but a
That
lot of
was,
things
like, in
were
the
different recipes. Right. That was back in the 1700s or something. It was that was a lot of fun though, because they actually were doing like their hair and they were showing, how they actually put like wax in their hair and stuff to style it, and that was
But-
pretty interesting.
But it's interesting when you think about it. We're not even like big history people, but when it's something relatable and simple, like baking a cake, it's like back 500, 2,000 years ago,
To
whatever it
have all those
was.
ingredients and
Then it was, I mean, it's similar to like it is now because like we go out and get the eggs from the chicken coop, which I'm imagining
Yeah.
is the only way people would like get their own eggs unless
Yeah.
they knew a farmer,
and they
kind of
traded,
thing,
they bartered a lot.
and stuff. And so, what's up, Edgar?
Yeah.
But
Well, we spent time talking to
that cake is thickums. Oh yeah, oh
It's-
yeah. I can't keep
it's called
going.
grasshopper brownies.
It's so good.
Mm.
It's so good.
But we spent some time talking to those ladies that made the different cakes and things of the period that were making, like the wedding cake and things that would have been at their wedding 250 years ago.
Right.
And they even said that it took them years with
To
the recipe
learn.
to learn to perfect what they actually meant in those recipes on how.
Because I think necessarily you couldn't always use like the same, like I don't cook, so I'm bad at making comparisons and I don't know how far things have come, but like confectionery sugar or something I think was one of them that they said like they used to have to
Oh yeah.
like break down the sugar to make the confectionery sugar or something.
Yeah.
And so like that as an example, they would say like they would try to make brownies or a pie or something with that, but the store-bought stuff that is now doesn't have
Come out
quite
the
the
same.
same result because it's not like as
It's refined
fresh and
differently,
like
yeah.
and all that stuff and so yeah, it's just interesting how
I know. Yeah, that's some of the ones like that was very interesting and well done. And those people, they don't get paid to do it. That's like their hobby, if you will.
Yeah.
Where if you go, like, say, to Williamsburg or Plymouth Plantation or something, most of those people are getting paid to be there. That's not
know
something that
that-
they've researched because they really enjoy it as a passion
Right.
as much necessarily. Some of them are more like actors,
right
and they really couldn't tell you how to make a candle.
right
But they can stand there and act out like they're making a candle.
right
Where the thing that we went to when you go to some of these reenactments,
that's
those
their thing.
exactly, and so I think you can actually learn more from those people because they've done their homework.
Yeah.
So here we are, 1971, and
Oh, I guess we brought the whole stream kind of round trip, bringing it back with the history talk.
there we go.
But
But if you guys want us to, do
if there's a certain time
another
period-
year or something that you want me to try. Like I said, I've never made hamburger helper, and I figured if my mother could do it, I'm telling you what,
or
Tatum could do it.
or like if there's like something that was big, like in the UK or in a different country in a different time
Oh yeah,
or some
yeah, absolutely.
like a classic German dish 300 years ago or whatever.
as long as
the
I
heck.
can get the things to make
And
it, all the
it's-
ingredients,
And it's not chicken liver
and goat's eyeballs or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I love playing in the kitchen, and Meg actually usually hangs out in the kitchen with me anyway when I'm doing it, so we have fun.
Tatum's
But,
starting to get
yeah, if you have a
fussy,
particular
so.
year that you know, say your birth year or something you wanted us to do or something, you know, I'm game.
Yeah.
I'll do my homework and find
Maybe
out
we
what was
should-
the number ones and
Well, maybe we should do that next for like tomorrow and the next day. We could do.
what was the most popular things for your birth year and then my birth year.
Yeah.
Okay, I could do that.
So
That would be fun.
that's what we'll be doing. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe we might have to like hold off on the dessert part of them because there's like a lot of this here.
Unless we can talk the boys into eating it.
But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Yeah, it was
Let me
fun.
catch up with the comments real
Yeah.
quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything.
This was actually kind of fun doing this retro back.
Yeah.
Because I said to Meg last night, I said, let's do something different. I said, pick a year, and she said, well, how about 50 years ago? I said, okay, 1971.
Oh, also, while we have you guys here, how interested would you guys be in a podcast?
Right.
Come here, Tatum. Come here.
Tatum, are you interested in a podcast?
Since you want to be so fussy and talk
Yeah.
like you've got
you just
your
can't
own
get
podcast.
me them and their brownies.
Yeah. Since you guys are the ones that listen to us talk, isn't this technically a podcast? I know. So that's why we were thinking we'll still come on here live and eat and
And
hang
do different
out or
things.
whatever, but we'll do it more of a structured.
With a topic.
Said I'd give it a listen for sure. Yeah, we would do more of like, you know, whether it's like current events or we probably won't get into
Nothing.
super.
Well, we won't do anything political or
right. It'll
anything.
be just fun things to distract from the crazy things going on. Though.
Yeah.
That's usually our brand. That's our theme.
Yeah. We try to do things real friendly and not offensive
Just-
to anyone. We never want to offend
just-
anody,
We just
except my mother's cooking.
It's
you know.
not that we don't want to offend anyone. We don't care what you think. But we don't want to have the arguments.
Yeah.
We're not here to fight about whatever. We're here to have
No.
fun.
That's right.
Calls the cashier. Tonight on the pod, Maggie calls the cashier a bitch. But yeah, I don't know. We were thinking about where it'll probably be
On the couch or
on
something.
maybe we'll try and work a couch setup. We might have to. I'm sorry, but for the podcast, we might have to do something about your paintings. We might have to move them. We might have to find a better backdrop that looks a
Yeah.
little old school. There's paintings on the walls. Oh, you want to go bark at the door now? Okay, go ahead. But yeah.
And we'd be open to, you know, whatever topics people want to discuss or have us, you know, talk about or.
I mean, well, it'd be kind of more of just a structured thing on our end.
No, but I mean, they could put in suggestions for another podcast of
Yeah, like
things.
if they're like, two, I think it would be cool because we can kind of get more in depth. Like we can do, you know, one that's like, just talking about the times we've gone on road trips. You know, if someone wants to hear our stories specifically based on those times, whatever, then it's like, you know, we can do a road trip podcast where we talk about that, or, you know, or like farm life podcast where we talk about how we, you know, take care of the goats and chickens and give them whatever, you know, so we can, you know, take requests and
That's what I mean,
suggestions like
yeah.
that way.
That's what I meant, yeah.
But like it won't be like the live setting where it's like
We'll still do some live though.
yeah, we'll definitely still come on live. The podcast will probably be on my channel, or I don't know, we'll figure that out still. But yeah, it would be a different setting than the lives, and we probably, what I was trying to get at with the whole like theme thing, it probably won't be eating.
No.
Because we'll probably try and figure out some sort of mic setup so that it's better audio, and so we probably won't be eating
But
into
I
the
might
mics.
I might be having coffee though, because
Yeah,
I'm
probably,
a bit of a
We'll
coffeeaholic.
probably do coffee and different fun drinks and stuff if we're trying to incorporate
Something.
flavor
Yeah.
into the podcast or something. But yeah, like when we're eating and doing mukbangs, whatever, we'll just come on here, whatever. But yeah, so just wanted to put
Give it
that.
some thought,
Just wanted to put that out in the air
just in case.
because it's a possibility. We're trying to think of new
New stuff.
outlets because too, with a podcast you can reach a more mature audience where a 13-year-old, not that we don't love everyone that watches
We love
our
everyone.
videos or whatever, but a 13-year-old isn't gonna care to sit through a 54-minute video of us talking about when we went on road trips or whatever. You know what I
Going
mean?
To the Lion Kingdom.
It's like someone that's coming on for quick, stupid, snappy entertainment, whatever, isn't gonna be going to the podcast,
Right.
which is where almost in a way we'll be able to engage more with the people that care to actually sit and listen kind of thing, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
It does. I get it. We get it.
Because I'm pretty sure podcasts are the demographic is more of an 18 plus kind of thing. And considering the fact that we're both 18 plus,
We are.
there's no reason for us not to want to reach out and try and branch out into other forms of entertainment that would attract
18 plus.
18 plus. Just makes sense.
And that includes you, because we know that you're 18 plus.
Because sometimes, sometimes a little kid will come in and watch it. Oh, they're eating Hamburger Helper.
Oh my gosh, my mom makes that.
Yeah, some little kid. And it's not that we don't want younger people watching or listening, whatever, but we know we would be able to be a little less censored about
What we're saying.
how we're saying things and, where certain topics that aren't necessarily politically incorrect, but might not be as open for all audiences type of,
Right.
a bit more PG-13.
Yeah. That is so our speed. We are so PG-13. We are.
Family friendly, but not. Yeah. I don't know. Anyways.
But what she said.
I will see you guys. We will
We'll
see you guys.
We'll see you either in my year or her year.
Yeah.
One of those years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out. Good night. See you later. We got it.
Maybe you got it.